Huawei looking to raise $1 billion offshore just days after getting hit with U.S. curbs that threaten to cut off access to capital and to critical suppliers. For more insight, Bloomberg Opinion's tech columnist Alex Webb joins us in London. This is a sort of a micro case in point, Alex. It doesn't seem like anybody is or will win, including the European companies that technically could potentially take away some of the business.
Yeah, I mean, look, there are European companies who are analogous in many ways to Huawei in the sense that they supply telecoms equipment. Nokia and Ericsson are well placed for that. But then there are also a lot of companies in Europe who supply Huawei with components. And because they have US intellectual property or manufacturing arms, they also are not necessarily allowed to supply Huawei with everything which they might normally do so. So, they're winning and they're losing.
Alex, how do you price up Huawei at the moment? It looks almost impossible. We still don't know exactly what the future of this company is. As you say, with companies like Arm putting it off the list, that's going to be a serious threat to its future. How on earth, if you're trying to raise money at the moment, do you price that?
I mean, look, the money they're seeking to raise right now, it's going to be from a small group of probably banks they know pretty well. They don't need money. They've got a net cash position of something like $30 billion. They have no needs for capital. My sense is this is very much a way of demonstrating that, banks still think this company has a future. If they can go out there and say, look, we've raised $1 billion, then, and these 6 banks, whoever they might be, I'm not sure if it is 6, we don't know, but this handful of banks, they clearly think we have a future, so should you, and it's a big sort of show of confidence on the side of Huawei and their prospective investors.
This shows a little insight into Huawei's thinking, management's thinking, right, Alex? I mean, clearly it's looking for a show of support at the very least. Therefore, it's not 100% confident about its own future.
Well, I mean, I think the company itself is trying to put on this big show of being very confident about its future. It's the likes of us in this part of the world, or elements perhaps of the Chinese leadership who are concerned perhaps that this situation is being mismanaged and are worried about the company's future. They've said the day that soon after the blacklisting was announced that they had a few months of supplies. This is not going to be from one day to the next this company falls off a cliff. This sort of, I think, is aimed at demonstrating that beyond those 3 months, they also have a future. We are yet to see whether there is, of course, going to be some sort of rapprochement, and what Huawei, it might well prove just to be a bargaining chip, but it is still posturing rather than actually, in my mind, a need for capital.